So you're building your business, and then all of a sudden everything is taking off and everything is going right and the energy is right and people are around you, and then something happens. Boom. The rug gets pulled out from underneath you. Whether it be the economy, whether it be market conditions, whether it be whatever it is in your business. And then all of a sudden, all that momentum, all that positivity that you were building is gone. And you have to start all over. And what do? What do you do to be able to really get back, build up your confidence again, build up your bank account again, build up knowing that the fact that you can go out there and be a successful entrepreneur? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about today on this podcast. I've got an incredible wholesaler out of Southwest Florida that in 2022 and 2021 closed a combined 92 deals after losing everything in 2019. It's an incredible journey. It's an incredible story. It's an incredible woman. Mara Garcia, welcome to the podcast. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, everyone. Finally, I'm on here. Thank you, Brent. I literally love you so much because you've changed my life. You've changed my family's life. And it's just like all mindset. I mean, I literally get on my knees and thank God every day for what we have today. I don't take it for granted. That's for sure.
It's incredible. And first of all, just to make this clear, you changed your life. You are the hero of this story. I am simply a guide and part of it, a small part of it on your journey, but a part nonetheless. And that is an honor for me to say that. And I want to get into this because you moved your family from New York.
Yep.
You moved down to Florida, right?
Yep.
And you sold everything in New York. You moved down to Florida. You want to start a new life. You want to really, you have that fire in your belly to be a entrepreneur in your heart, and that's what you did. And you started a retail business. And it was going great. Yep. And then it wasn't.
Yeah. In a nutshell, that's exactly how it went. I mean, I'm a New York native. I was born and raised in New York. And in 2015, I got like this epiphany thing. And I told my husband, I said, we need to change. We need to do something different. We had a little townhouse. It was really cute in Staten Island, New York. And we sold it. By the way, I became a realtor. Literally, I took the test and everything. I was working 9 to 5 as an executive assistant. And I said, I'm going to sell my own house so that way I don't have to pay realtor fees. In my head, that's what I was thinking. And I said, I'm going to be a realtor and I'm going to sell my own house. And that's exactly what I did. I have the photos to show. But anyway, and I sold the house. 30 days later, I had it both sides, so seller side and buyer side, because somebody drove by my house and they were unrepresented, and we closed. Anyway, long story short, we had a little chunk of money in our pockets, and we said, all right, let's move to Florida, because New York is very expensive. So I said, let's move to Florida, start a new life. We can open up something. And at the time, I was still working with my job. They allowed me to work from home. I was like the only one. I convinced my boss. I don't know how. Anyway, I worked from home. We were in South Florida, right outside of Fort Lauderdale. And anyway, we got into a franchise and we opened up a retail store. And that was in 2016. Amazing. We were doing like almost $400,000 every single year, coming from literally making like $4,000 a month. I was like, we're rich, everything is great. We are number one in our community. People loved us. It was amazing. I mean, it was literally a dream come true, like a Cinderella story, if you will.
Sure.
And, then 2018, something happened. I guess it was just like, I didn't know, what we were really doing. We were just having fun, making money, doing this, doing that. And I guess I'm going to say I probably didn't manage it well, but I also didn't realize that profit, right? Like, how much profit do you really have? And, long story short, 2019, we were really, really trying everything possible to stay there and stand there. And it was destroying my family personally, because as you know, like, money is not everything, but it really is. Like, yeah, health and all of that, love, okay, but if you don't have ends meeting, like, there's a problem, right? And then it started getting into my marriage, who I love my husband so much. We've been together for 20 plus years. We have a 21-year-old, that meant the world to me. So I was just like, something has to give, and we decided to make a big decision in 2019 to close. And we were devastated, our blood, sweat, and tears. It was just all down the drain, embarrassing too to our family, because our family were so excited. We had this amazing business. We were well known. It was horrible. But during that time, I was just like, something has to give. Like, this can't just be it. Like, this can't be the end of my story, like, in terms of, our financial goals and our dreams of not being worried about money and not being stressed about that. I said, I just don't, something has to give. This is not right. It's not cool. So, I started YouTubing and going on there. And I remember I searched, I'll never forget it. I was just like, what's the fastest way we can, make money being a real estate agent? Like, how to make quick money being a real estate agent. Somehow, some way, wholesaling came up. And I said, what on God's green earth is this? And just like a lot of people on here think it's fake, there's no way, this is not true. You don't really have to have money. You don't have to have credit. You don't have to have, all of that stuff. And I said, this can't be right. And then I went into YouTube University, like what they say. And I started listening to you and some other people. And I was just like, wow, this is so motivating. These are the people that I need to be around. The people who say, like, no, can't stop, won't stop. Like, there's another way to this life. Like, it doesn't mean that you just have to kind of constantly be killing yourself to make ends meet. And it just sounded really amazing. And I said, well, I have nothing else to lose. I lost everything already. Like, what else do we have? Just more passion, just more faith. And then we started, I got my son involved, because he's, at that time, he's 20 at the time. And, so I got him involved. I got my husband involved. My husband does the signs. My son does now, tax messaging. And I said, and how can I teach my son too? Because I want when he's my age, God willing, I want him to already be boom, like everything nicely set up, if God allows it, of course. But, with me back behind him, like, you got to get involved in whatever. And I used to take him to see some houses, like, here and there. And he used to be like, oh, like cringy, and I'm like, oh, this is nice. It's not too bad. And there was like stuff all the way up to here, but I just saw dollar signs. Like, I was like, we need to make money. Like, in my head, that was like my driving factor. We were negative.
Did you have any issue with, just psychologically, just mindset wise of, okay, well, I didn't this adventure being an entrepreneur with the retail business didn't work. Why not just get a job? Why even try to be an entrepreneur again? Why even try to get into that again? Like, what part of you are you unhireable now that you've tasted the freedom of entrepreneur, or the hustle of entrepreneur, or the seductive nature of how it blends into your identity? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why not just throw all that entrepreneur away? You just went through probably one of the most emotional situations that you're going to have to go through. Yeah. Right? It was probably very stressful in the marriage, very stressful in the household, very stressful. We have to move. We have to do this. We have to get rid of these things that we like.
Yes.
Like, why go back to that? I mean, isn't that just asking for more of the same?
Well, yeah, that's a good point. I did have to, and I forgot that part, so thank you. I did have to kind of put my tail between my legs. I don't know if I should say that, but I'm just saying, like, and ask my sister. She helped because we needed money, right? Like at the end of the day, wholesaling doesn't just happen 1 or 2 phone calls and now you're rich. It doesn't happen that way. Okay. And I understand. And even having the business, right? Like I know that it just doesn't happen overnight. Like you're just going to have a boatload of money in your hands. But so I had to go back to work. I had to go and get a 9 to 5, but it was contingent that I would still be working from home. So after we closed the store, then we decided to just, like you said, get rid of everything, all the fancy stuff, the beautiful cars, couldn't afford it anymore, got rid of all of it. And we packed up and moved to Southwest Florida. That's where I've been for the last 3 years. We just made 3 years actually here. And I was working from home. So I was working from home 9 to 5 again, not happy. Because like you said, coming from being my own boss, doing my own schedule and whatever, now I have to go back to kind of like where I started, but not really. It was just like a little to get us a little ahead. And I'm one to tell you, I'll do whatever it takes to get to where I need to be.
Yeah. But a year later, you closed 57 deals.
There you go.
Part-time.
There you go. And
you were still working.
I was still working because I said that was paying our house bill.
In Florida.
Yeah.
You're doing these deals in Florida, correct?
Yep.
57 deals, working part-time.
Yes.
So I just want everybody to listen to this. And the reason we're building up to this and really breaking down this story is Mara is incredible. And she's got an incredible, like, batteries come included with this person here. I mean, honestly, you have so much energy and but since day one, you were like, I am going to make this happen.
Yes.
Without a doubt, I am going to be successful with this. And we've talked in text for years about this. And there's been some deals that have fallen out and broken your heart.
Yes.
There's been some deals that you closed that were absolutely massive, and it was huge celebrations for everybody in the tribe.
Yes.
I mean, it's been absolutely incredible journey to watch. But you're doing this part-time in Florida with no experience coming into this.
No.
I mean, you sold your own house and you had a real estate license and that, but it wasn't like you come from a family. It wasn't like your family was these big real estate.
No. And I only did that one house, and then I got rid of the license. I was like, I don't need it. I didn't know what I was doing. Okay. But I just had, again, it's that can't stop, won't stop. And like, you're right, Brent. I mean, off camera, on camera, this is who I am. This is who I am. So, that's the main thing. But yeah, going back to this, I went back to work, but I said I couldn't be back in an office. For me, I said, if possible, if I had an option, which I did, thankfully to my sister, I was able to get a job, a position within her company in New York, and they allowed me to work from home. Just faith that I was going to do what I got to do. I basically fired myself towards the summer of 2021 when I finally started, when we finally started making enough with wholesaling to, I think I made, in that month, I made enough what I was making for the year with that job.
What was that month? Come on, give us a little, get us excited. How much was that month? What did you make that month?
Okay, so it was close to 60. It was close to
$60,000 in a month.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible.
We've made more in a month, not like our highest.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It was like in the 90s. And I just...
And guys, listen,
I can't believe
I've been trying to get Mara on this podcast for years, literally since 2021.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to be braggy. No. She doesn't want to get too show too much. No. You know what I mean? It's I think there's probably a little bit of a hangover of losing everything and trying to I don't want to jinx this type of thing. You know what I mean? I don't want something to happen there.
Yes.
But the truth is they've had some incredible deals. They are out there every single day as a family. I see you guys. I see you on social media. I see you as a family going out there and doing amazing things. And it's awesome because you made this out of thin air.
Yes.
Like, you've been in the tribe, and you've been connecting with incredible people around it.
Mm-hmm.
But you just pulled this out of thin air after losing everything, going to a job full time,
Yep.
and being able to come back into this and still
Yep.
go and take action every day. Talk to people that own ugly houses or in ugly situations,
Yep.
and you've solved their problems. And because of that, you get paid really, really well.
Yeah.
And that's all, really built momentum over the last really 2 years to 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's phenomenal. And I love that you're coming on here and sharing it with us finally.
Yes. I'm really on here for someone that might be in my situation, or, whatever it is just like, don't lose hope. Just don't give up, right? Like, and do whatever it takes. Cause I've talked to a lot of people who send me messages privately and things like that they'll hear about me or whatever. And, we'll talk behind the scenes, and they're like, hey, should I quit now? And then like jump in. And I'm like, well, you're asking, do you really want to hear what I have to say? Because I'm going to do whatever it takes to get to where I want to be. Right. And sometimes it is that you have to stay at your job or get a job, right? To just pay the bills. And then you could focus, like, boom, stay consistent. Because that's what's kept us still here. Even in my market is very competitive. You know this. I mean, the feeling. You're in, Arizona and everything. You know the feeling. But if you're staying consistent, we show up every single day.
You better believe it.
Every single day.
Every day.
Correct. And
well, listen, you can have a full-time job, but still be full-time thinking about your business.
Correct.
You know what I mean? We all get dropped into different situations and responsibilities and bills that we have to pay, or things that, mistakes that we have to pay for from the past.
Right.
And we have to get through that, and we have to be responsible for that, and we can't hide from that. And so, in the same, it doesn't mean that there's a rule that you can't dream.
Right.
You can't have those goals anymore. You can't find. We have 168 hours a week. If you're working 40, 50 for somebody else, that's 128, 118 hours. Even if you sleep 56 hours, you got plenty of time to commit to this business. And I'll tell you, if you find 20 hours to be on the phone having quality conversations with people that are in distressed situations, you will win. It is guaranteed 100% of the time. You stay consistent and you focus on that, you win. And here's a perfect example of what happens if you actually follow that and you actually believe in that and you have faith in that and you build that faith into fact, and then you go out there and you make a huge impact in your community, which you're really going bananas right now in Southwest Florida. And it's a big area, but you're doing incredible things. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Okay. People, we got your story.
Yes.
We got the mindset. We went through the lows and the highs. We're on this journey with you, but now we want gimme, right? Give me some more, right? Give me how you're doing this.
Okay.
How are you finding, just break down your different marketing channels. Which ones which ones are effective for you?
Okay, so we do signs, we do bandit signs, okay, and we do SMS, and we do cold calling. Right now,
SMS, for anybody listening, is a text message marketing. So who do you use for that?
Right now, we switched to Launch Control.
Us too.
Yep, we've been with Launch Control since late August, and we've already made good money from it. So it's been working amazing for us.
By the way, if you're interested in Launch Control, which is a fantastic tool, they have for the tribe. They love the tribe. They have a link that they actually set it up and help you write your text, which is the biggest hurdle. And you get your own person, like an actual person to help you, not like a robot. Guys, use the link. We'll put it in the show notes, but definitely use that link because otherwise you're just out on your own.
Yeah.
So make sure that you do that and be under our umbrella because they love us because we stick around.
Yep.
We stick around because we do deals.
That's right.
The tribe does deals. I mean, the people that listen to the podcast and that are in the Rhino tribe do deals. So they love us and we get hooked up. So how many texts are you sending out a day?
We send 1,200.
I love it. And from that, How many? Do you have kind of a response rate?
Well, the response rate is about 30%. Well,
Yep.
no, excuse me. Like some of them are 90%. Some, like if
Yeah.
we resend them, then they drop to like 10%, whatever.
Sure.
But we're closing consistently at least one deal a month from sending that.
An average deal size?
Well, there was one that we closed in December that was 40 grand.
Oh my gosh, awesome. Yeah, so but that's not the average. I mean, what's the average?
No.
15?
Okay, so
20?
15. I would say 15.
Yeah.
15 is
And by the way, guys, national average for a wholesale deal is $15,000.
Yeah.
And I will tell you right now, if you're getting started, because they also call, when you call yourself, here's the numbers. 1 out of 200 conversations you have with people that own ugly houses or in ugly situations will be worth $15,000. The hurdle there is, one, you have to talk to 200 people, and most people haven't talked to anybody. Second is it typically takes 90 days. Right? So from the first time that you talk to somebody to the time that you get paid, it's a 90-day window. And that's the toughest part. That first 90 days in this business of consistently reaching out and having those conversations and being proactive. You make it through those 90 days, you got to think of it like your boot camp.
Yep.
Then you get to wear the stripes. Then you're the real soldier. Then you're in the Navy SEALs, so to speak, of wholesaling for sure. But that 90 days is make or break. And you could get something earlier, but most it takes about 90 days. So that's just for everybody out there, for some numbers to think about when you're calling and texting. It varies. Talk to Launch Control; they'll give you some really good stats in which markets are the best. But I want to break down a deal.
okay.
I want to ring this victory bell. It's been sitting idle for too long.
I know.
We've been talking for about 20 minutes. We got to ring this thing. So let's talk about a deal that and break it down. How you found it, what was the situation, what were the numbers, all of those things. Let's break down a deal.
Okay. I mean, we've had some really, really good ones. So I'm just trying to think of one that was really good. And you know what? I'll talk about this one. This one is really nice. This one hit home because she was even crying on the phone with me when she was so thankful and so happy. That one we made, $30,000 on. Okay. That was,
Jumping the gun on this thing. There's no build up here, but okay.
I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry. Okay. But okay. So this was a text message. This was a text message, right?
Love it.
But I want to say this. It didn't happen right away because she was interested, not interested. We found her through a tax delinquent list. Okay.
Love it. Where do you get your tax delinquent list from?
PropStream. Like, if PropStream were to go away, I would cry. So PropStream is my child, my second child.
Sure.
PropStream. Okay, so we get all of our lists through PropStream, and so we got the tax delinquent list. This was late last year. We closed on it in November, but it really hit home because she was out of state owner, and she had inherited the house from her mom, but it was all already in her name, everything, right? She had her niece in there. Her niece wasn't paying, wasn't really doing much, and she's in Texas, and she's going to lose her house in Texas because she's trying to fit it all, and she's about to lose this house through a tax lien too, because she hasn't been paying the property taxes. And here in Florida, if you don't pay your property taxes, they're gonna sell your house off to auction, even if you owe $5,000 and stuff like that. So anyway, she fell through and it didn't really happen. So we kept her in our pipeline, through our CRM, which we use Podio, the free version, nothing fancy. If I had my book is on the other side. Literally almost $1 million just with this Dollar Tree book. Okay. But it's in the other room. I won't get it. Anyway. So we kept following up. At one point she was like, no, I'm not interested. we just kept on with, communication with her, because we knew on paper she was in trouble, right? Like in some type of distress. We didn't physically go see the house. The house was in Southwest Florida, but we didn't, at that point, didn't see how bad or good was the house. But we knew that on paper she had to make a decision. And so we kept on. We finally, she said, I've had it. She called me. At that point, she has my direct number. She called and she said, I want to get rid of this. I'm done. That's it. She was in tears. She was crying. She was like, I'm going to lose my house. I calmed her down. It felt like really like, I need to help this lady. I have to help her. This has to be done. But we need to make money too, right? Like you always taught us this, like, we're here, we're go-givers, we're gonna help, but don't forget about you and your family too.
Yeah.
You deserve to get paid. And I always had that in my mind, because at first it was always hard. You remember, I used to always be like, I made 5,000, whatever. And while that was great, and I was blessed to have that, but you were like, don't, make sure that you're not just leaving it there just because you feel bad or guilty, because you deserve it,
Yep.
So anyway, so that deal, it took literally like almost 6 months, to get her to really go in there. So following up is really key in this business. Following up, having a really, really good system to follow up. Doesn't have to be expensive, doesn't have to be, like you said, like, it's not like you have 1,000 people that are really hot leads. Like, it might be 5 or 6, keep them in front of you.
Give me 20 hot leads at all times, and you'll make $1 million in this business.
Yeah, it's
every
really
year.
Not that
every year.
Yeah,
it's just lead generation never turns off.
Yeah.
It is the faucet you turn on, and then you walk away, and you don't walk away, but you never turn it off again.
Right.
That's it. Or your business is a roller coaster. So lead generation is the engine of your business, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And so turn on that tap, and man, I'm making a lot of analogies for lead generation right here, but you guys get it. It really is. I mean, that's what really, you turn it on, you never turn it off, and then you have to filter out all the best opportunities of people that will actually do business with you, and you learn how to pre-qualify them.
Yeah.
You learn how to do effective lead follow-up, and then you go with your offer presentation after you've done all those things and built the trust. And Mara's an expert at it, absolutely. So what did you lock it up for?
So we locked it up for 130, and then we assigned.
Wait, how did you find your buyer for it?
Oh, so PropStream. PropStream.
Yep.
I look at my buyers that I call them my heavy hitters. So heavy hitters mean, they have more than 15. I like even more than 20. They don't have to be like this big fancy company, but someone that can act very quickly. This one, we had to inherit the niece, okay, because that was contingent to that.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I don't want to kick out my niece, blah, blah, blah. And I said, don't worry. Like, I'll take care of everything for you. So it had to be contingent to that. Now, the niece, I'm not sure what's going on with that after we closed on it, but so we found the buyer through PropStream. They're verified.
So what does that mean, you found it through PropStream? So you went and you looked for cash buyers in that neighborhood, zip code? Like, literally walk us through. What'd you do? Like a map search?
So what I do is I put the zip code of where my subject property is. And then I look for cash buyers. I'll do even individuals sometimes.
Like literally the button that says cash buyers?
Yes. But then I do the filter. I filter it down to try to match typical, like the same houses that I have, similar square footage, not down to the, nitty gritty, but I kind of want to find a buyer. My thinking is
that's huge.
I want to find a buyer that buys similar homes, if possible. If it's available, fantastic. If not, then I'll widen my search a little bit more. But that's typically how we do it. And then I look for corporate, mostly and stuff like that, LLCs if possible. And then I look to see how many properties they have, right? No offense to my newer investors, love ya, but you don't act really quickly like how we need it, right? Like, as long as I give them the number, what's going on, what's the issue, sometimes they do want to see it. A lot of my buyers buy sight unseen because the numbers are really nice. For them, there's oops, money in there for them as well. So they feel comfortable saying, okay, I like it. Let's go, And so we spoke to a buyer there, and he was so excited. It was actually the first time we worked with him. Now we're doing a lot more deals with that person. And they're really happy, because it's not only about like, the seller is always my priority, right? But the buyer is also my priority. I want to make sure that we deliver not only to the seller, but we're delivering, right? Like the best to my buyers on a silver platter as well. And that's what makes us different than anybody else. Like whatever we say, we do as long as we can, but again, I don't have a crystal ball. So, but that's what it is. It's the trust that they have.
So what, you just called them up and said, hey, I saw that you buy some properties in this area. Do you want this one?
Yeah, similar to that. I say, hey, I don't tell them my company name or anything. I said, look, we're local. I don't use the word wholesaler right away until they say, you're a wholesaler. And I'm like, yeah, I guess. Yeah. Because sometimes they don't know what that is, but I'm like, hey, we have a property over here and, we see that you're active. We'd love to bring you deals on a silver platter. Like I literally say that. I'm like, we'd love to bring you deals on a silver platter. My buyers that work with us, they love us because, we're real. We keep it real. We tell you, we don't hide. We're not playing footsies with you. We're just straight. Here's the address. This is what we're asking. This is the situation. Do you like it? Yes or no? And that's it. Don't count my money and I don't count yours. And that's it, And as long as they're like, we don't care. As long as it matches that's music to my ears. I'm like, yay, you'll be put on my VIP list. And they love it, This is my money phone right here. This is my money phone. So it's like,
there it is.
Yeah, it's a cheap phone, by the way. This is like, I don't know. This is the 5 series or whatever. Who cares? It makes me a lot of money. So, so I keep them on I'm putting you on my phone, like on my Rolodex, my contacts. And, and they love it. So I'm texting. I'm like, how do you like for me to reach you? Text. I don't like to send you all this big fancy emails. Listen, here's the address. Here's our price. You want it? Yes. No problem. We'll move on,
The conversations I have, and listen, you can only have this with the ones that, well, you can have it with any of them, but it's more effective when you do filter out the buyers that have multiple properties. Is listen, if it's a deal or not. I'm going to send you the address. I'm going to send you the photos. I'm going to send you the price, and you're going to know. I know that in 5 minutes if this is something that you'd be interested in. So hit me back. I've got a few other people that I'm working with, but I'd love to do a deal with you. Let me know if this is something that you're interested in and you want to take on. I'd love to get you this deal. And then boom, you send over the information and rock and roll. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's amazing how strong those relationships can be built. And I'm telling you, when you go into a market where it's flat or going down, the wholesaling companies, and that just might be one person. That just might be one person in your company, but you are a company that has those relationships with actual buyers that can keep buying in good markets and bad markets. Clean house. Yes. They win more than anybody else, and they last the longest in this business. So you want to build some really good relationship with the people that will treat you fairly.
Yes.
You build a healthy tension with them. You don't want to get too buddy with it because they will get you. Yes. They'll give you 50% of what you should be earning on your deals. That's the absolute truth. Yeah. But you can build a good healthy tension and a good trusting relationship there where you're going to bring them real deals. Yeah. You're not going to fill in their inboxes with a bunch of hopeful deals. I hope this is a deal. No, they're real deals, right? But like you were saying, it's got to be a win-win. You got to take care of them.
Yep.
And you do that, and you're consistently generating good opportunities. That's how you build an unbelievably profitable business.
Yes. Exactly.
It's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Well, hold on a second. So you bought it for what and sold it for what and made what?
So bought it for $130, sold it for $160.
Come on.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Yep.
I love it.
And no assignment, no double close. We hardly double close, to be honest with you. We really don't. We build that relationship with our buyers, and it's a two-way street. And to me, I feel like let's just keep it real. If there's a problem, then maybe we don't work together. I don't, what do you mean?
Sure.
We have choices now. So, yeah.
Amazing. What's the big goal? Is the big goal to own rentals? Is the big goal to be a developer? Is the big goal to lend money? What's the big goal? I mean, obviously building a unbelievable wholesaling business that runs without you someday is first step. But after that, when you're sitting on top, Mara, and you're looking over and you're looking at that next big hill to climb, what is that? What is the big goal for you in the real estate business?
Oh, I definitely have that nice and clear. And we are just going down that nice, tunnel right now. I see the light really far, but it's there. And that's owning rentals, owning properties. Definitely, as wholesalers, we must. It's like you have to. It's not really like, oh, should I or shouldn't I, or else you will be basically, working forever, because like you said, I mean, this business is amazing. To start from zero to where we are today in such a short period, I don't think there's another business. And I came from retail, okay? I came from a storefront and all of that, and everything was going out and nothing really was coming in. Whereas with wholesaling, it's life-changing. It's life-changing for a lot of people. And this is why I tell even my family, right? Like, we're changing communities. Like, we're doing a lot, right? As wholesalers, we are not the ones swinging the hammer. I get it. But we are, bringing up the community, right? Like, and helping a seller, then helping a buyer. That buyer is going to make that house really nice, help the neighbors. And, I've had my flippers come and be like, can you believe, like, the neighbors are so happy because they hated that, that junky house, and now their value goes up. And so you see, like, what you did that by picking up the phone, by taking action and going out there, facing your fears of, like, getting cursed out sometimes. Okay, it is what it is. We just keep going.
Sure. Well, we deal with we deal with not deal with, but we work with people that are emotional and going through emotional situation. And a lot of people don't want to do that.
Right.
The fix and flippers, investors, people that want to buy and hold, they just want the deal.
They just want.
So we go out there, and that's the steps. There's certain steps to this. Number one, do your first deal, right? Yeah. Get the proof of concept. Yeah. Go from faith to fact. Second is go full-time into this business. Yep. Third is build a business that can run without you. Fourth is pay off all your consumer debts so that you're not just taking all your profits that you're working hard for in this business and paying somebody else and being somebody else's ROI. Next step is invest in assets. Yep. And the last step is financial freedom, where those assets are now paying you and covering your lifestyle and giving you more and giving you excess and letting you empower other people to do the same. That's the plan. That's the steps, and you follow that plan. I'm just telling you from personal experience, from losing everything. Listen, you and I, our stories are echoed. They truly are. You lose everything, and then all of a sudden you look up, and it's been 11, 12 years since I was like really, really, really down. But, I'm in a position, and this isn't like a humble flex type of thing, but I don't have to work ever again. Yeah. Like literally, I could just stop now at 41 years old. No doubt about it. Yeah. With that plan right there. And that's an incredible place to go. And when you're in that position, then you get to really work on your passion projects. You get to really work on the things that really fulfill and fill up your cup. And you can do that. And it doesn't take 40 years to do it. I mean, there's some people that I know that it's taken 3, 5, 7. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, but you have to get started. You have to be brave, like Mara here that went out there and called her first seller and went on her first appointments and went through it and lost deals and then found some deals and then all of a sudden built the momentum, doing it part-time, by the way. Let's not forget about that.
We still do it part-time, just so you know. We still do it part-time because I love my time freedom. That is non-negotiable. But
Yeah.
your advice is just perfect. And I hope this is going into people's heads and staying there, because like in this business, it's not about like flexing and all of that stuff. You taught me personally, like I know you talk to this about to all of your students, but for me, it was just like, make sure that you pay everything as much as you can, humanly can, your cars, everything, at least your personal stuff, right? Like that way you don't have that stress, and you can focus on making money and doing those deals and not be like, oh my God, I have to, because I have to pay this bill and I'm negative balance. No. I'm telling you, I wish I could tell you more, but yeah, you're
when you wake up to work because of stuff you want to do, not because you have to pay bills.
Yes.
Woo!
Amazing.
I'm telling you, and listen, I had to pay off a lot of debts, and I had to get over a lot of things mentally, and I had to really work on positivity and optimism and everything when you go through a really tough time. But when you put in the work, when you actually go out there and you really push hard and serve the community, it actually serves you. It actually makes you a better person. It actually gives you more confidence. It actually gives you more energy to do it again and again and again and again. And I think that's the real important. If we just stay within our own brains, at least for me and myself, I would just sabotage myself over and over and over. When I just went out and door knocked 15,000 houses or called for hours on end, I felt better afterwards. And at the end of the day, the best pillow is exhaustion.
Yeah.
Knowing that you emptied the tank that day. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people get to experience that on a daily basis, and you can in this business. It allows you day one to be able to do it, and it's incredible. Yeah. So I'm so glad. It's only taken 2 years to get you on here.
I know. I'm so sorry, but like, listen, I scream it to everybody that knows me, that even on my social media, I'm like, if it wasn't for Brent, like, can you please listen to Brent? Like, and the thing is, right, because sometimes you see people on social media and like, whatever, and you're like, that's not really who they are. I'm like, Brent is like this, even off like he really is passionate about helping others and saying like, you can do this. Like, you can do this. And I know that sounds cliche. And believe me, when I was down, when people say, if I can do it, you can do it. And I don't want to hear that. But I'm really serious, guys. Like, if you just get out of your own way, I swear to you that your life can change, and just the things that I have done from even like my mom, my family. I get choked up because like I want to give back. And see, I literally, that literally hits home, because just the fact that I can go and like give my mom $1,000 and be like, do whatever. She wants to do the bathroom. She wants to change the tiles. She wants to buy a toilet. I'm like, here, she's on a fixed income, her and my stepdad. And the fact that like I can go and remodel their bathroom, I never could do that. Like I would never, I've always just only made enough to survive. So now to have those little things to give back to my family, besides my household, it feels so good. It just feels so good. And to also, of course, give back, to charities. And we donate a lot every single time. Cause I remember, you guys always said like, look, some of that, when you can, don't feel, but when you can, give a little. I tell you, it feels amazing. Yep. It feels amazing. So.
I love it. Mara, how can people get a hold of you? People that just want to reach out, powerful people that have that passion, and maybe they're just getting started and they know that they can do this, but they want to reach out and connect with you and be in your world. How can people do that? Well,
I'm on Instagram. I don't have that many followers on Instagram, but I'm there. And that's
what is it?
Marapreneur, like entrepreneur, but Mara.
We'll put it in the show notes, guys.
Yep. Exactly, Marapreneur. And then on Facebook, I'm on Mara Garcia, and you'll see my face, whatever, so you'll know that it's me. And it's just like reach out, but I am going to say, if you're going to reach out and I tell you what to do, like listen, right? Take action. Because people just think there's like just a simple sometimes they're like, oh, I made like 10 calls and everybody cursed me out. And I'm like, guess what? We made thousands of calls today. Like you're going to have to do the things that nobody else wants to do. That's what's going to make, like even right now, my husband is driving for dollars. While I'm talking to you right now, still almost 7 figures later, we still operate like there's no money. Like, no, because we're on a very tight, like we got goals. We got major goals. Like you said, we want property. We want to build wealth for my son. That is like my number one priority. When I'm long gone and my husband's long gone, I want my son to never have to worry about money ever again, And
love it.
So that's where I am. That's where I am.
Awesome. Guys, reach out to Mara. She's absolutely incredible. Connect, squad up, do some deals, especially if you're working in Southwest Florida, the whole Southwest Florida. She is everywhere, so make sure that you connect. Thank you for being on here.
Thank you.
It is long overdue, but you're absolutely incredible, and I think people are going to really be inspired by your fire, and if they're not, then I don't know how to help them. I don't know what they're doing here.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, if you're interested in joining, well, first of all, let me hit you up with this. ttpdata.com, ttpdata.com. It's going to be in the show notes. It's going to be down in the link if you're watching this on YouTube. That's your link to get PropStream, which Mara said she would die if she did not use. It's a phenomenal tool, so definitely check that out. And if you're interested in joining the most proactive community in real estate investing, it is the Wholesaling Inc. Rhino Tribe. Go to wholesalinginc.com, wholesalinginc.com. Check out what it's all about. If it feels good in your gut, sign up for a call, and we are ready for you. And that's it. As always, I'm going to finish this podcast encouraging everybody to go out there and talk to people. Till next time. Love you guys. See ya.